Hey guys, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is where you are. I'm about to have lunch, and what I did was some, as I think I probably will insert before this. I just did some like a rice pilaf, wild rice pilaf, with onions, celery, carrots, mushrooms and raisins, and the best part of that is the cumin in it, and some roasted cauliflower, some sauteed spinach, some plantains, and the star of the show, I'm gonna do some eggplant fries. Across the board you probably hear this called eggplant fries, vegan fish sticks. Today I'm going for kind of a vegan fish stick feel. I decided to add some seaweed to my batter to give it more of that sea flavor. Usually when I'm making these, I sometimes do a wet flour batter and a wet, what am I saying? A wet flour batter and a dry flour batter. But today, I decided I'm going to do it the way a really good friend of mine taught me. I'm going to do a wet flour batter. Well, I did it already. I actually did it last night and put it in the fridge so that hopefully the flavors will marinate a little more. And then I'm going to chop up my eggplant, dip them there, and then dip them in some panko. And that's going to go along with everything that I'm having for lunch. I feel like I'm having vegan pizza. I already made the dough, and maybe I'll share a little bit of that later. I don't know. Just depends on how I feel. But let's do this. Guys, I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate my tripod. I just managed to get it to bend down. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall out. But this is kind of like, I hope you can see this, what the batter is looking like from last night. And those little green things you see in there, I chopped up or ground. I chopped up. Did I chop it up? No, I threw it in the blender is really what I did. The seaweed, and then just added it. So if you smell it, it has, you know, that sea fishy sort of scent. I don't know, that doesn't sound very appetizing, but you know what I mean, you know, but it's not overwhelming. And I feel like once it's fried, you will not even, I don't even know if you'll even really notice it, but we're gonna find out, because this is actually the first time I'm putting this in the batter. I just felt like it because I had the, you know, those little dried seaweed. Oh, my hands are like super dry because I just washed them. You know those dried seaweed, what do you call those things? Those little dry seaweed things that people eat as snacks. I need my knife. I bought one of those. I had a couple of them and I was like, these aren't for me. I like my seaweed in the form of flakes, like to just eat it like a whole thing like that, or maybe sometimes the chips. I didn't like those. Well, I ate it. It was fine, but I just felt like I can't eat it by itself. Like I have to add it to something. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. So we're going to chop up this eggplant. And my hands are already washed. You know, you have to give that disclaimer. So in case anybody was wondering, because I talk a lot, or I think most of the recipes I've shared have been sort of vegan, or I'm not vegan technically, but I do eat vegan, I would say 99.5% of the time. And occasionally, maybe once every 2 months, once a month, I might have fish. Yeah. So I do still eat fish, and I do still eat eggs. And I guess some people say, well, if you've gone that far, why not just, you know, why not just take the full leap? That's just where I am at in the journey, you know. I'm not a bandwagon person, and that's just where I'm at. But being, I guess, or eating vegan 99.5, I feel like it's even more than 99.5% of the time, because most of what I prepare is vegan. Even when I bake these days, Sometimes, depending on if I'm doing it for someone else or whatever. But most of what I bake even is vegan. There was a time when I probably thought I couldn't be vegan. I'm doing these really long, yeah? Usually I do them shorter, but today I want them long. There was a time when I thought, I don't think I'll be giving up chicken. That's not happening anytime soon. When other family members were doing it, I was like, that's not for me. But I started little by little some years ago, giving up little things. And it's actually, I won't say it's easier because, that's relative. But it was a little bit challenging at first. No, it doesn't bother me one bit. Like I cook chicken for people, and it doesn't, like, I'm not, I don't know why when I get on this camera, like, my speech goes to the dogs. I can talk, I'm a talker, but for some reason when I know I'm on camera, it just doesn't work out the way it's supposed to. But anyways, yeah, I can make chicken, prepare food that's not vegan for people who are not vegan, and I'm not tempted to have it. Like, I'll just be like, ooh, that smells good, but I'm not tempted to eat it. I think the one thing that in the beginning I really miss, I used to think it would be chicken, but it turned out not to be chicken. The one thing that I ended up really missing is lamb. But these days I don't really miss much of anything, And like I said, the salmon for me is like a once in a blue moon thing. Because every now and again I just feel like eating some fish. I don't know. At some point maybe that may not or that may no longer be the case. But yeah. So these are my eggplants cut up. I hope the camera is picking this up. And I'm just gonna literally put them in this batter right here and then transfer them to there. And I'm gonna fry some, but I'm gonna actually put some in the oven so you can see that, it's possible to bake these also. I've baked them before. Naturally, we tend to prefer things that are fried, but they totally can be baked. One for the counters. Who else has a thing about, I don't know, anytime I'm doing anything that's in batter, I don't like when my fingers get wet. I hate it. I'm just weird. It's kind of like, this is so off topic, but it's kind of like me and oiling hair. I hate, like, part of the reason sometimes why my hair might be a little bit struggle is because I don't like oiling hair, and I don't like the feeling of oil and things like that on my fingers. My mom always used to say, you can just wash your hands. I know, but in the meantime, I just never really like the feeling of it. It's like a peeve. Alright, so these ones, I'm gonna throw these in the oil while the oven heats up. So guys, I'm having my eggplant sandwich. I'm always looking in the wrong direction. Try to look there. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. I know you're probably thinking, eggplant sandwich? There's so many things that you can do with eggplant. And I realize that a lot of people don't know that, because I've actually been asked more than once in the supermarket, what do you do with that? And there's so many things that you can do with this. What is it? Is it a fruit or a vegetable? I don't know, but I'll drop it in the description box. But you know, you can make awesome cheesy pasta dishes with eggplant. You can make eggplant parmigiani. If you're from the Caribbean, you might be familiar with the way we sometimes chop that up with pumpkin and okra and spinach and serve it with bacalao. Or if you're vegan, you just leave out the bacalao. But it's good. That's all I can say. And this is the next day. I just got in from work. It's pretty early. I thought maybe I should make something light like oatmeal, but it's already lunchtime, so this is brunch. And the best way I find to maintain the crunchy and the crispiness on these is to just remove them from the refrigerator and just let them sit and come back down to room temperature. If you warm them up, they tend to get a little soft, which is okay, but you know, just depends on your preference. You can also, one thing I like about eggplant is that you can have it with or without the skin, you know, unless sometimes, I mean, there's been a few occasions where you get eggplants where the skin on the outside is a little tough, and no matter how you boil it or cook it, it doesn't get softer. But when you're making these fries, that skin helps to maintain a little bit of sturdiness. I mean, when you chop it up into slices, you'll find that not all parts are gonna have skin. That's fine, but the parts that have skin, I just feel like the skin helps to maintain the shape. But when you get a good eggplant and you cook it down, it really doesn't even matter if the skin is on there or not, because it'll just soften. Like tough, guys. I'm tired, but honestly speaking, I have stuff I want to do today, so I'm gonna do that and then try to get some rest later. But thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Thank you guys. Till next time. You see where I'm looking, and I'm not gonna refilm this. You see where I'm supposed to be looking? All right.
Get a drum as a toy for Christmas. Was one of the greatest innovators